So I got to experience dining in the dark in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, and in New York. It is an amazing, amazing experience. This is just one of many things that our keynote speaker will talk to you about that he has done on behalf of people with disabilities. But this in particular is something you all need to hear about. So without further ado, please come join us.
So the basic idea was at the beginning very simple. To eat in the pitch dark, guided and served by blind people. This was in the early 2000s. At that time, the social responsibility was very at the beginning, and this was a quite innovative concept. The concept, I didn't have the idea. The idea was actually in the blind foundations for many years. They were using this concept to raise awareness about disability. The problem is they were not able to expand the concept because, of course, it needs a lot of logistics, a lot of investment if you want to do it on a large scale. So at the time I was in the new technology, I was working actually for SFR, was my biggest client. So I was making huge profit, of course. and I wanted to reinvest that profit in a useful company because I wrote a book at this time about social responsibility. And I was making conference and I was saying always the same people, telling the same things to the same people. So I was thinking, well, you know, maybe we have to move on and we have to do something. So I decided to create that company like a lab, in fact, like a labo. To show that a company, because from the beginning I wanted to be a company, not a foundation or a non-profitable, but a company, is able to have profits and to expand with half of its staff that is with heavy disabilities. To show to other companies, other entrepreneurs and other large corporations that to get 6% of people with disability is not such an effort if you think in the right way. So we started in the 14th of July 2004 to open the first restaurant in Paris. It was immediately a huge success. First because of the press. We had maybe the biggest PR book, release book for restaurants in Paris, even I think more than Garnier. And the success was so big at the beginning that we were full books more than 2 months in advance. And of course, after 1 year, 1 year and a half, we were profitable after 2 months. So, I mean profitable in exploitation, and not of course, we didn't reimburse the investment in 2 months, but we were profitable immediately. So we had this opportunity to expand, so we decided not to go to Lyon or Marseille, but to go in London. To cover the market and to be sure to be the leader in Europe to get the 2 major cities. In London it was another story, because as you know, when you come with a good idea in London and you are French, you are not welcome. I remember this journalist of a big newspaper that I will not give you the name, would look at me and say, oh, this should be an English idea. So finally, what happened is William and Kate came 3 times to have dinner in a restaurant, telling to the journalist that it was the only restaurant in London when they can have a dinner quiet. From this day, we are full book every night. So our London restaurant is today the most profitable and the biggest restaurant. We then opened in Barcelona. Well, first in Moscow, a franchise, because I was married with a Russian woman and I know you don't have to invest your own money in Russia. The guy was very pleasant, very polite for 2 or 3 months, and then he stopped to pay the franchise. So we stopped in Moscow. Then we opened in Barcelona, which was quite a good success for a country that is so deep in the crisis, actually. It's still successful. And if you go to Barcelona, you can go Paseo Picasso, you will have a wonderful food, actually, because the tapas is especially adapted to this experience. Then we went to New York. This was our biggest mistake. We closed, actually, 2 months ago. It doesn't comply at all with the American mentality. a third of the people was going out of the experience asking, it's very interesting. But it would be more interesting with a little candle. Okay. Well, I think we'll have to go back to America in 10, 15 years to see how things goes on. So this is, I would say, our window. By the way, I make a little stop to say to Nadine that maybe you should work also on diversity about language. Maybe we could speak French in France, and Russian in Russia, and Spanish in Spain. This is an idea. So the company was growing, and little by little some corporation were coming to us saying, hey, how do you do? You have 50% of disabled people, and you make profit. We have so many problems. How do you do? So we started very quickly, in fact, in 2005, to work with a larger corporation. First to make sensibilization event. So we founded an event marketing company that is managed by Fabrice Rosca, that is here. And that works today with, I would say, half of the biggest company in this country to help them to bring events in their workforce. This is a part of the things, because the first thing is to bring events to raise awareness about disability. The other thing is to make events about another thing that is very interesting here. And I come back to the restaurant. What's happened when you come to have dinner in the dark? Of course, there is a relation with the disabled, because you are guided by blind people, and you are not prepared to do that. You are prepared to help the blind to cross the street. You are not prepared to be helped by a blind to do something. This reverses everything. You become the disabled people, and the disabled people become the guide, which is crazy when you think it. And this can lead to a lot of ideas. But the other thing is, it's a very interesting sensorial experience for you, made possible by the blind, because of the blind, but it's a very interesting experience for you. Why? Because people mix tuna and veal in this restaurant. It is surprise menu, so you don't know what you're going to eat. So people mix everything. The French are very proud to know a lot of things about wine. I can tell you, they are absolutely without any culture about wine. They mix red wine and everything. It's incredible. And it's go to a high level, because we sometimes invite some specialists in wine, in champagne, in everything. I remember a tasting I made on the champagne. I did put 10 specialists, and I brought 6 bottles of champagne and 6 bottles of Loire Valley sparkling wine. And I mixed all of this, and people were tasting, and nobody was able to say what is a champagne or Loire Valley. Even a girl of a famous champagne family was there, and she didn't even recognize her own champagne. So that's the point. So that's a big. I'm joking, but it's a very interesting thing. It brings a lot of things about how we consume products. What is the marketing? Because the marketing brings us to things where we forgot what is in the box. The marketing tells us about box, but we help people to realize what's in the box. And people forget what's in the box. And this is a very large opportunity for a lot of people that have good product to promote their product, to test it in the dark compared to other more famous or more high quality standard products. Some winemakers work with us to compare with Big Bordeaux, and sometimes a lot of specialists cannot say who is the best. So this brings a lot of interesting things. So this event marketing company is working also on that. With big companies like LVMH, for example, we work with them in the past to help people to realize what is a bag with a good leisure to other products. You know, there is a lot of opportunities to create values with that. And this is the point, is we don't see disability as a disability. We see disability as a difference. And when you are in a business school, they teach you in the first lesson, you create value with difference. And you arrive in the company, you forget it. And what we try to do is to explain to people that the disabled people we work with, of course they have a disability, but this disability creates some compensation qualities. For example, the blind people I'm working with for 10 years, they have a fantastic memory. They have a fantastic adaptation sense. They can adapt to any situation much more quickly than most of people. Their sense, their other sense, are very accurate. I will give you a funny story that happened again about what happened to Fabrice actually a few years ago. He went to a perfume maker. I will not tell who is the perfume maker. And the guy told him very proud, oh, we did hire 3 disabled people. Wow. He was very proud because people are always very proud to tell us that they hire disabled people. I don't know why. And he told us, okay, we did hire 3 disabled people. Okay, you're a perfume company, you are a trainer. And so, what will you do with it? Oh, we don't know. That's why we wanted to talk to you. And of course, you know there is a quota, there is an obligation by law to employ 6% here. So people are pushed to do that. From them, I cannot criticize it. It's a good idea to hire people with disability. The problem is, when I told him, but did you think to pitch some blind people, for example? Because you know, with the olfactions, they are often quite good, quite interesting qualities. Like you know these famous movies, Scent of a Woman. So there, and the guy looked at me and looked at Fabrice and said, well, we didn't think of it. And this is the problem. We didn't think of it. We think the wrong way. We don't ask ourselves, what can I do with this difference? We just think, I must hire people with disability because of the law, which is the most stupid way to think. Of course you have to do it. The good thing is you have to think of it. This is the good side of the law. The bad side of the law is people do stupid things like this. The point is that because of the law, you have to think, how I can create value with disability? And this is what we try to do every day in our company. This is what we did with Dans le Noir. We created value on a small, like a lab, on a small scale. Of course, we make 6 million sales every year. It's not a big company. But at least it is concrete activity. It is not consulting and blah, blah, blah. It is industry. And so we create value, and in every market, you can create the same value if you think the right way. The last benefits of this experience, and I think if you didn't do it, please do it. Do this experience. I don't say that because I will earn 50 more euros with each of you. I just say because we often say a good experience is better than a long speech. You know, I would have preferred to have this conference with you if you all have dinner in the dark before. I know some of you did it, so they will understand what I say. So the last benefit is about the social relation between people. When you are in the dark, you lose your shyness. You lose your preconception about people. And that brings a lot of benefits. From the beginning, I didn't want in this restaurant to have small table like in any restaurant. It is large communal table. So you are seated with your friend, but you are seated beside people you don't know. It's impossible not to talk to them. At one stage or another, you talk to your neighbors. And as you don't see them, you don't have preconception. So it's a very open-minded conviviality. And often we see at the end some bobo, as we say in France, that is bourgeois bohème, which is trading guys, very quite rich, going with the beauf. The beauf in France is, how could I say, Jean-Marie Bigard, you know? They go together to have a drink because they found them funny and interesting. So maybe we found a solution to make these people all together, you know, and to make a better world. No, so we are kidding, but that's very important because if I go to the professional aspect, we organize a lot of brainstorming in the dark, a lot of team building in the dark, and it's incredible efficiency. I was working for Young American and Abbas for the major brand in the world before for 15 years. I made a lot of brainstorming, a lot of team building, etc. I never saw so much efficiency. Just because there, people lose all preconception on everything. The hierarchy explode. People became themselves, you know. I have a funny souvenir. It's when the Prime Minister came to eat in the restaurant, Jean-Pierre Raffarin, it was in 2005. The guy that was taking care of his table came to me and said, it's strange, the Prime Minister, he doesn't talk, he doesn't say anything. Okay, I was a bit worried. And when he went out, he went to me directly and said, Mr. De Bruyne, I found myself here. I said, maybe he's drunk or what? No, but I understand. I mean, now I understand. I mean, when he goes somewhere, everybody look at him, he cannot say anything. He has to take care of everything he says, everything what he do. He cannot do this. He can. Yeah, suddenly he was quiet, good, and he was supposed to stay just 15 minutes to talk with the journalist after. He stayed 1 hour 15 minutes, and the lady of Matignon was excited. She said, "He must go, he must go." I said, "Tell him he doesn't want to go. He's good there." So this. This is the basic idea. This is a 3 level of benefits that can be used on a personal level, but also on a professional level. So please do the experience. And then, of course, from this company, that is 80% of the activity is this activity, restaurant, also a spa, because we opened a spa in Rue Montmartre near the Poste du Louvre. You have a spa where you get a massage and cares by blind people. And with this activity, we met a lot of people, and these people, as I told you, little by little, ask us more and more. So, of course, events about disability, events about some sensory events. And then they decided to say, well, you know, we have a lot of problems with the people we hire in terms of disabled people we hire. So first we started to be the firemen. That means they were calling us to say, we have a problem there with these disabled people we hired 2 years ago, but it's a catastrophe, he doesn't, blah, 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 blah. Nobody wants to talk with him, nobody wants to work with him, blah, 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 blah. So we were coming just to solve the problems. And little by little, we understood with our clients that were large companies like Allianz, BNP, you know, large corporation, that the problem is very deep. And the problem is at different levels. The first level is the basic thing, is when disabled people come to work, there is some basic things you have to take care of. For example, sometimes blind people doesn't know how to dress. And they come, it's go from very little things like this. And then people put them apart just because they are different, and they are dressed different, and they talk different, and they... So when we integrate people now in our programs into corporations, we have a basic training about how to speak, how to dress, how to behave in the work, which is from the beginning. It's small things, but if you don't do it, it can bring to major failure. Then the big problem is the level of education of the people with disability is lower. And you don't find often in some sectors, you don't find people trained to your sectors. So what we decided to do 3 or 4 years ago is to make training educational programs in big schools with real diploma for different filière sectors. So we did for insurance, for informatics. I know Accenture is taking 2 people in alternance that are working with them in alternance, and that are following a program in the CNAM, I think. Yeah. And we did that for many different sectors, including management. We work with Euromed, which is a big school of management, and we did adapt all the lectures for blind people, for disabled people. Can you imagine what is a management course for blind people with all the shame and everything? It's a hard work. So one of our blind did the program before 1 year and did adapt every course for the blind people. And little by little, it became more and more successful. And now for every sector, you have 5 or 6 people every year following the complete program with other students that have no disability. So it's a normal It's a normal program. And they are more or less sure to have the job because they are in alternance for 2 years, so they are already in the company. So all of this will show you that from the lab, we try little by little to expand the way of thinking to the companies to make success. Because the worst for me is a failure. Because when you integrate disabled people into a company and it doesn't work, it is terrible. Because for years, it can become the reason why this company will not make new experience with other people. And you can have failure. You can have failure when you hire anybody, even non-disabled people. All of the entrepreneurs and the managers know we have failure. But with the blind and with the people with disability, the failure becomes a reason not to do. And this is why we think that when we do this process, we have to be very careful to all aspects to be sure. Of course, we cannot be sure 100%, but at least with a high level of percentage that it will be a success. So I don't want to speak too much more. Just to tell you also one thing important I forgot is, as you know, 6% of the population in Europe is with high disability, high enough to have a card and to have benefits from the states for their disability. All of these people, they have father, mother, brothers and sisters. They have close friends, they have everything. We calculate that around every disabled people there is at least 3 persons. I don't think we are very large for this, maybe there is more, but we say, let's say only 3. So you must multiply the 6 by 4, the disabled plus the 3 of them. That means 24% of the people in this country, in America I'm sure also, and everywhere in the world maybe, is directly concerned by disability. So can you tell me what a politician can forget 24% of the voters? Can you tell me what company can forget 24% of his clients? So for me, it's not a question of social responsibility anymore. We speak of business. We speak of how to create values with disability, and we speak of 24% of your clients. So just move your brain. Just, I don't know, just push your manager, I don't know. You have to be proud of what you do, because you are not just doing responsibility, you're helping your company to create values. And I think we are too shy in our jobs, in the companies. And we have to go to the top management and to tell them, listen, look at these people are doing. Why do we don't do the same? Okay, you do, the other day I was with a guy that was making pen. He told him, oh Edward, that doesn't work in my market. So I just think maybe 15 seconds. And I told him, listen, if you go with a foundation that is helping child that has problem of ergonomy, and you create a pen that is really ergonomic, and then from this pen you derive a normal product for everybody, then you will have a better product, and then you will have a story for the press, because the press likes the stories, likes the legends, you know. You look at me and say, oh yeah, yeah guy, you have to move your brain. Yeah, it's not only to be responsible, it's just to move your brain. So I felt very alone for this 10 last year. And I hope that little by little, more and more people will start to think that way. And we'll start to put out the disability or the difference in general, because what I say about disabled people is true for the women, it's true for the black people, for the Arabics, for everything. Okay? We all have our qualities and our defects. So I hope that all of you will go out of this conference with a little more of proudness, a little more of entrepreneurial desire to promote your job and your activity. Thank you for attending.
Let's ask if customers with disabilities experience dining in the dark differently from...
Well, some stupid, yes. Because you mean blind people?
Any.
I know, any, yes, we have. But blind people, we don't have so much. They eat like this every day. So, for them, it's not really an experience. It's like a daily meal, and it's expensive for a daily meal. So, no, we have sometimes, because they bring their family or their friends to let them understand, but the majority of our clients, it's you and me, it's people that, what is very funny with this is I call it dans le noir, that means in the dark. I didn't call it blind brothers, because I never want to market the disability. So we never promote the disability for our process. When we make an advertising, we never talk of disability. This is a very key part of our success, is we track the people. People come for fun. They come to have fun, to have dinner in the dark. And when they go out, they say, wow, we live a human experience. Yes, guys, you wouldn't have come if I told you you're going to live a human experience, you would not come. But then they come to party with their friends. We have a lot of pre-wedding party, we have a lot of birthday, and people go out and say, wow, where is this? And by the way, if we are still open today, we never bought a piece of advertising. So if we are still full today, it's not because of the press, because the press was important the first and the second year, but nowadays they don't write anymore so often with us. But the word to mouth is crazy, because every people going out of the experience talk to 20 other people of the experience. So it's, I mean, good or bad, but English often say, bad advertising is advertising. And that was good for us at the beginning in London, by the way, because we had a lot of that. So I don't know if that answers your question, but it just, everybody comes. It's a very popular restaurant, You have a prince, prime minister, students, disabled people, both, bobo, all kinds.
Can I just ask?
Feel free to come.
Are children more open than adults?
Sorry?
Adults versus children, is there any difference?
Yeah, no. My son came there at 6 with all his classroom. He was so excited. Children love that. They love that. It's so fun. Just in America, of course, we couldn't do that, because in America, under 18, under 21 for alcohol, it's impossible to get in. That's one other thing that makes it difficult in America. Is they are all crazy about lawsuit. They are permanent headed. So no, I'm sorry. I just said the things like we have been open for 2 years in New York. I said I would not recommend to anybody doing this kind of experience to go there. It's
Jersey.
That was it. You should have done Jersey.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. No, I remember when I was working for Pernod Ricard, we were going in the lab to test the product with the bandage and say, hi. But we just do this, but accessible to everybody, to realize that what we eat is maybe what we think we eat. Yeah? There is a lot. Yeah. And sometimes, I don't know if it was your case, but sometimes people don't believe us. We have to show the picture, and then we have to go to take the bottle to show them that it is a red wine. Yes. So,
to be a very honest opinion, I found it very hard at first. I was particularly tired the first time I did it, and I found the experience really makes you question lots of things about yourself, about disabilities. What was amazing though is when you leave there, you think of how quickly actually you adjust to situations, different things, how you put in place mechanisms, and how we actually can find ways to get through things and be okay. And so it really makes it really changes your perception of disabilities and what everybody's capable of doing and going beyond, in fact, how quickly you can compensate what you have. So yes, it was overall a very positive experience, but it wasn't an easy one at first, I found it.
I know, it's not easy. Yeah, it's a strong experience.
It's a very strong and emotional experience.
Yeah, of course. And what I can add, it's different for everybody. Because you react like this, Valerie, because you are who you are. But some other people will be more interested about the sensorial side. Some other people will, for example, a lot of people like the social experience with other people. and they are not interested about disability. Some other, because they are touched by disability in their own life, they are very emotional about disability. Some other are more focused on sensory. Everybody is different.
And how your senses are. I mean, immediately you walk in and all of a sudden the temperature, you're sensitive to the temperature, you're sensitive to the noise, to all your other senses are all become vibrant, yes. So, yeah, very interesting experience, but and useful, but not always easy.
We have a lot of other ways to raise awareness with the top management on the companies. For example, here with Accenture, we made different operation here. Dark rooms, of course, like the same. So we bring the dark room here, and we had what we call a silence cafe. So it's with disabled people with the sign language, and it's very interesting sign language. For example, now with Airbus, where the plane makers, they have a huge place, huge warehouse to make them, and they cannot communicate. And we are thinking to learn them the sign language, the basic sign language, to help the workers to communicate in the warehouse. So you can create values in very different level, in the production, in the management, in everything. Also here we brought some ping pong table here in the entrance, and with the national French team of handicap ping pong. So the people were coming in and saying, "Oh, you see, there is a guy in ping pong on wheelchair. We're gonna beat them." And well, they came and 23-0. Let's see. So when you are beaten by a guy in a wheelchair, even if he's a champion, it's okay. People with disability can be very efficient, and so this is the work we do. We try to break the preconception people have, and to turn people on to see like us this as a difference. People in wheelchair, of course they are in a wheelchair, but they are, or sometimes they have the fighting spirit. They want to overpass their capacity. They have a lot of time for training, and so they become very good. And so even the good ping pong player of Accenture have been beaten here. So this is, we don't try to bring the dark everywhere. The dark is just a labo, it's just a window to bring a new way of thinking. So we work in every market. I think we can find ideas for Total, for SFR, for anybody. It's just in some companies now you have people that are more educated on all these problems. It's better than 10 years. When we started 10 years ago, it was a catastrophe. No, really, it was the real beginning. Sustainable development was just starting. The social responsibility was, with the Comité 21, was little. So now, especially, I don't know in America, but in Europe, it's started to be quite important. But I think the mentality takes a lot of time to change. Not in your mind, maybe, but in the mind of the management, it's still a boulet, we say in French. And they are scared, because any innovation, you have to take risk. Personally, when I started this business, I had to invest 1.5 million euro to open Paris and London. I made 13 banks. I never found one. I had to invest everything on my own money. If I didn't have this, if I didn't take this risk, this program would never exist, to be honest, because no bank will invest 1.5 million euro on such an idea in the 2003. No way. So at different level, you have to take risk. The risk I took, you must be able to take it in your company and to involve your management. And for that, you have to show them experience and success that gives them the idea to go ahead and to see disability in a different way.
Thank you. Disability matters for me is very personal, like it is for many of you. And so I just, from the bottom of my heart, it really means a lot to see what you all do and what your commitment is to disability and to children like mine. So it really does mean a lot. We could not, like I said earlier, do anything like this without our sponsors. So again, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Adecco, Orange, Ingersoll Rand, and AFMD. Again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for being here, strikes and all, and we hope to see you at Disability Matters EU next year. Bye-bye. Thank you.